We not for make this country fall. Mama salute. We let we salute. But this we land we love.
A critical awakening in Sierra Leone. The unintended lessons of Julius Maada Bio's presidency. When Julius Maada Bio became president in 2018, he promised a new direction, focused on education, justice, unity, and inclusive development. His eloquent speeches inspired hope in a nation hungry for change. However, as his presidency has unfolded, a different story has emerged, marked not by fulfilled promises, but by deepening economic hardship, growing insecurity, and widespread public disillusionment. One of the most alarming developments under Bio's leadership is the rise of Sierra Leone as a hub for drug trafficking, particularly the spread of Kush, a dangerous synthetic drug. This substance is destroying lives, especially among the youth, and has overwhelmed families and communities. Allegations of official complicity and ineffective law enforcement have led many to describe Sierra Leone as evolving into a narco state, where criminal networks thrive alongside weakened state institutions. Economically, Sierra Leone is trapped in stagflation, a combination of high inflation and low economic growth. Prices for essentials such as food, fuel, and transportation have soared, while wages remain stagnant and youth unemployment continues to climb. The government's reliance on donor funding and external loans has not translated into local economic empowerment or job creation. Many citizens are now forced to make painful choices just to survive, eroding trust in state leadership and exposing the limits of government policies. Public services have also deteriorated. The much-publicized free quality education program suffers from overcrowded classrooms, unpaid teachers, and inadequate resources. The gap between the government's promises and the lived reality of the population has grown ever wider. Despite this grim outlook, a new form of awareness is emerging. Across the country, especially among the youth and professionals, there is a growing sense of political consciousness and civic engagement. Citizens are becoming more vocal, organizing protests and demanding accountability from leaders. The protests in 2022, though marred by violence, reflected a collective demand for dignity, justice, and meaningful governance. In this context, President Bio's greatest legacy may be the unintended political awakening of the people. His administration's failures have taught Sierra Leoneans to think critically about leadership and governance. They are learning that true development must be people-driven and grounded in action, not rhetoric. This rising consciousness may yet become the foundation for a more accountable and citizen-led future for Sierra Leone.
Yes. Scrambled. Una good evening. Bafole Kamara, welcome, sir. Sierra Leone, they're at a crossroad. They're at the crossroads. Since independence, a lot of things don't go wrong in our country and they continue to go wrong. But we the people them, they take everything for granted. We don't take so much for granted in Sierra Leone that we Saudi now. It's like it's difficult for some of we be no Sierra Leone at independence. Some of we will be no Sierra Leone in the 60s and 70s for understand what's in the going on in the country. The Sierra Leone, what they call Sierra Leone now, is a place that is very strange to most of us. Since independence, we get two political parties then, when are they shoot into prominence. Unlike most parts of Africa, where most of the parties them will be take the country to independence don't die out, Sierra Leone still get the two major players them in the forefront. There is one thing about life. What thing somebody don't use for do. If you not make conscious effort for change them, it will become a normal situation. And anything we don't normal, whether it good or bad, you go continue for do them unconsciously. In fact, you go continue for do them if somebody from outside or somebody different, they watch you, they tell you, say, what you they do so not correct, you they see them as an insult. Even if what the person they tell you, now for your good. This not the situation where Sierra Leone don't find itself. Since 1961, or even before 1961, we'll get independence, we don't create a kind of political culture where now in the two key political players where don't they exist from independence to now, still the practice. The fact that these two political players here, the APC and the SLPP, not they show any sign, say they're ready for modernize, they're ready for moderate, they're ready for change. The political ideologies, the political infrastructure, the political dynamics. That this is the reason we keep we country in the woods. You know, we talk and go, we talk and come. It's shameful for a country where the whole world when they claim say are the leading country for Western civilization, because not of our civilization. As a matter of fact, our people were very much civilized before the Westerners came in. But the fact that them they don't claim say Sierra Leone now the first place for Western civilization, what in them call Western education. Then claim say Sierra Leone are the Athens of West Africa. Would they claim say Frobe College older than most universities in Africa? Then look at we country today. That's the tell we say. We therefore look inside we self and find out something we will not pay attention to. Then two political groups here where they call themselves APC and SLPP. And get a lot of homework for do. If they mean the members and the executives, if they mean for partner this world and left a mark, say, this person be done pass here. Because Usa would not reach now, it's like that place we call Sierra Leone is gradually being erased from the face of the earth. One thing about we, the things that we for take serious, we not take them serious. The things that we not for pay attention to, now that they put the greatest attention to. Sierra Leone is gradually being erased from the face of the earth. If people don't see that, then you should stop thinking. The politics, the drugs, the economic hardship, it erased Sierra Leone gradually from the face of the earth. We know we like to be given the comfortable lies. We like For the people them for consider bad mouth people them. I'm here to say the truth. And the truth is, Sierra Leone is gradually being erased from the face of the earth. Why did I say this? A country, not to the soil, not to the air, not to the water. All of those exist without boundaries. Boundaries, borders, cultures, societies, etc. are created by mankind. The human being, now they create boundary, now they create borders, now they create everything. In fact, presently, we see some countries, they make attempt for put physical barrier. We don't get the Chinese wall, the Great Wall of China. That's man-made. To God maker, not to the earth maker. We don't get Berlin Wall. That's man-made, not to God maker, not to the earth maker. The wall between Mexico and America is man-made. The human factor, neither the country, neither the society, neither the community. If the human factor living together cannot do what will keep them and sustain them, that civilization, they gradually erases itself from the face of the earth. This is exactly what is going on in Sierra Leone. Politics, they make people then kill themselves unnecessarily. Now you get people then connected with top politicians. They come with substances where people then they use, then they die in droves. If even they not die, the after effect of the misuse of them substances then it don't render them people then they useless for the rest of their life. Now few they able to recover from kush and the other drugs then they able to make themselves useful to themselves or to life. Prior to all of this, the two main groups where they call themselves political parties, they know they sit down for things say, now we there ahead now this society. Things not they work the way for work. What you for do? Let we change the society. What kind policy we go come with, we go make society better. They don't have time for that. What they have time for is me and mine. We have now they don't reach the level, then they instigate another war. Because the statements made recently by the chairman or whoever I call himself benchman or stoolman of the SLPP, and the responses where they come after that statement, plus the gaslighting where they take place. Every day you wake up, you go see then one or two radio or television station, they go gaslight the people them, rather than then tell the people then the truth, say, we are incompetent, we cannot make this place a better place. Everybody they go put self-defense. Apc-Slpp. I want you to ask a question. Or I want you to ask certain questions. What democracy? How do we sustain democracy? What do we need for democracy to be sustainable? If we say we make a one ask 10 questions here, the political history of Sierra Leone itself, except una one gaslight una self, because not to some of una the gaslight, we know the truth. The political history of Sierra Leone has never been democratic. The British were not democratic, they were autocrats. They ruled by their whims and caprices. They ruled by their wishes. Any form of protest or opposition, then they crush them. So they don't create a culture. Up to the time where they introduce the so-called politics to with people in the upline, they use a lot of impunity on with people there. Then they come, then go up in school, say this now for sons and words of chiefs, which is also a reinforcement of autocracy. From there, they establish Protectorate Assembly in 1948. They say, oh, this house is mainly for chiefs, but other people can enter. The other people, they come, then therefore be proxies to the chiefs. So then create that class of superiority, falsehood, which is not democratic, because in a democracy, everybody should enjoy the same rights. Then from there, by 1950, they say, okay, now we can make democracy in the whole of Sierra Leone, then get what in then call legislative council, then make elections. In 1953, the elections were then conduct. You been get the SLPP who don't form with the National Council. The National Council could not make any mark. The SLPP formed a one-party state, a one-party government. Before we got independence, it was a one-party government we had with 4 ministers. One of them 4 ministers have been Shaka Probin Stevens, who have been Minister of Lands, Mines and Labor. By 1958, the SLPP internally, because they not get democratic character, they not get democratic attitude, then break away internally. From that point, the disaster began grow. It became a culture, and that is what we are suffering today. How did this disaster grow? Then go for independence talk. Shaka Stevens will be there with them. Say, oh, now me not to SLPP anymore. I don't form my own group. So we need for get elections before independence. In ITA Wallace Johnson, they were asking for elections before independence, because by then we had moved from the one-party SLPP domination to another party coming into prominence, and because the other party being sure say they're able to get seats now the provinces, they say we forget elections before independence. And from there the war starts. That demand now creates the RAF. RAF not to accidental. For those who think RAF is an accident, it's not. And the RAF war not done it too. It's still a gun. I know that. If we not manage the mentality of division in Sierra Leone, if we not manage the mentality of autocracy, of impunity in Sierra Leone, we are headed for another war. will be very devastating. One thing I want, let's say, Leonians begin to understand. Man, as the religious books then tell we, is made in the image and likeness of the Creator. Whichever name you want to call her, you want to call her God, you want to call her Allah, you want to call her Ngewoi, you want to call her Kuru Masaba, you want to call her Kanu Masala. Man is made in the image and likeness of that intelligence. And man is given free will. What does that mean? Good, evil, happiness, sorrow, joy, sorrow, darkness, light. All these things exist side by side. Hot, cold, they all exist side by side. It is with us to use our free will and make choices. Everything we do in this life is by choice. If you sit down and allow people to make choices for you, then be assured that you get the wrong choices, because when people make choices for you, they don't synchronize with your spiritual wishes. This is where democracy comes in. If we talk about democracy, democracy begins with the freedom to make choices. Democracy begins with the tolerance to allow people to make choices. Democracy begins with the social conditions where they allow people for trust and coexist with each other. Democracy is not a political term. Democracy is used in politics when it comes to making choices of representation for representation. Democracy is a social condition. And social conditions therefore be present as part of the culture, as the belief, as the habits, as the attitudes for make that social condition exist in a country. So please, Sierra Leoneans, do not stop for the talk about democracy. There is no democracy. It's not part of our culture. Let us examine our culture. We are autocrats. We are bullies. We will not able to bully somebody physically. We dey bully them psychologically. We will not able to any of them to. We dey take the person in name, we pull them. That's a way of bullying somebody, pulling somebody down. If we want democracy in Sierra Leone, we therefore do a lot of internal examination, what in the white man called introspection, personal introspections. Now we understand what do you mean for tolerate other people? Let we understand what do you mean for be fair with other people? Let we understand what do you mean for live side by side with people and build trust. All what thing they go wrong in Sierra Leone, I think ingredients are not there. They're absent. Now you they take them, we not go take them. Anybody who get that kind of mentality, not democratic. Because if you say, they take them, then you they tell we say, you perfect past God. Yes. But you are not ready to tolerate others. Then you are saying you are perfect than the creator of the universe. Because if the creator of the universe can be tolerant for allow we for do a lot of things and not interfere, who are you? If people elect you into governance, then when you reach there, you begin use bullying on the people. They kill them, they maim them, they starve them because of poor economic policies. Then when the people then talk, you hold them, you put them in a prison. Who are you? Are you perfect than God? Are you more perfect than God? Well, if you are more perfect than God, be prepared to live here on earth forever and ever. Don't die. Because God not they die. We get to wake from that slumber, oh, deeper. We get to begin to understand, say, life is a two-way street. It's not a one-way street. Because part of the bigger crisis we see early on the face is that most people think life is a one-way street. It's either my way or no way. Then they put themselves into groups. Then they classify themselves into tribes. Until I wake up from that slumber. No two people can be the same. Even twins. Even twins. Then two not they come together, one they born before the other. Even twins, then two not they get the same mental capacity. Even twins, then two not they get the same physiological capacity or structure. If we cannot understand these simple basic facts of our existence, if we cannot understand that if I have to get a good life, I should allow other people to get their own good life, then let us stop talking about politics, because not all politics will they practice necessarily. Groups are what they call political parties. They are not political parties. Gangsters them, where they promote dog eat dog. It's not a political party. They sit down, they infect themselves. They're not able to get the civility for say, let we sit down, let we choose somebody, we go there before we go there behind, as long as we all work together. Then it's not a political party. It's a gang. If a whole political party, they sit down say, because they want to be at the top and for bully others out, and own a power. The day una go die, I wonder which name una go take go next one. Well, when they say next one, una they go suffer there because we don't know what's in the day, and several theories don't they come up say, as a matter of fact, death is a transition. Several theories there are even scientists that don't begin to look at that through the quantum experiments, etc., etc. Now then they tell me about this comet we then call Atlas, etc., etc. But the fact of the situation is, irrespective of our spiritual or religious beliefs, we have to recognize one fact, and that fact is everything about this life that we live has challenges. Those challenges are there for us to solve, because that's when we make progress. Point number one. Point number two, because Life or existence is a complex issue. We should not expect two people to be the same. We should not expect two people to think the same. So we for always look out for a middle of the road solution. If we cannot do that, then we should stop talking about us being civilized or educated. Because the very definition of civilization is about being able to live with other people through tolerance. If you cannot tolerate other people, then you are not civilized. If you cannot tolerate other people, if you cannot live with other people, and if other people cannot tolerate you, then there is no democracy. Democracy is a social practice, it's not a political norm. Politics itself is a social practice. It is the practice of allowing some people to represent the majority so that the majority will be engaged in other matters. If now 10 people been there at the whole of Sierra Leone, will not get business for discuss politics. The 10 people for just shape, you lead, you be minister, you be minister, you be minister, all man do tinenge kodo. But because of the demographics of the country, we therefore allow certain people for day before. We they choose them in goodwill and with faith. But since independence, these people have been going to be chosen and for goodwill. They don't care. Now we get the power, we get the police, we get the army. For those of you politicians who don't know, the use of impunity was a deliberate act by the British. When they went to Baibure of Kase, who was recognized as the leader and the mediator between them and the other paramount chiefs, them, then go tell and say, una for begin pay tax for una house. Baibure tell them say, I no go answer yes, I no go answer no. Una go talk to the other chief them. If they don't give una the word una can to me, I go tell una what I get for tell una. They went south to Pujao. They meet one Fulaman, they were a chief name Momoja. He refused them. They came to the middle coastal area of Sierra Leone around Shenge area, Bon Shenge area. They meet Bana Luis. He refused them. Other chiefs refused them. So they use impunity. They use force. The same force that they use Kidepa on our brother them. The British man use them. Then capture the chief for them. Then go put them on that board bracket. Put them in sand and lock out padlock. That was what led to the revolt that you were lied to. What they call hot tax war. The hot tax war was created by the British, the attitude. Some people will call a Mende war. Baibure did not start a war. Baibure was a mediator. When this war starts, now then go for Dompan, then kill 200 of him in Bobo them, then they put tank of pan and then carry and go Ghana. Baibure did not fight a war. The report is there. Now recently they published the report. Because they knew all along the British started the nonsense, so they're not been published the report. And now within that period, now they form what we call the Bandajuma Frontier Force. Because immediately after that, the people of Yoni themselves resist them. From the time where they inject that mentality of people in uniform using impunity on their countrymen, on their own brothers and sisters. When we get independence, now we continue for practice. Now you don't lead rules out this what today. Then they go talk we have the army and the police. Oh, so the army and the police now for misuse and abuse them for cause impunity, not so like the British did on your grandfathers. Is that what you want, Bachilo Songa? Is that right, Bachilo Songa? And the other one, them, because they don't know what they need to know. Hey, if we will make this place ungovernable. How na effect na salombo. We there we go referee una. Go referee una. We not get for go ICC. We go they will go recommend side and they go lock una. Now the last one and then carry them go Rwanda. We not find place now. I make una no land basic. This time, anybody will go against the rights of the people. If we're able to make them lock up, now outside winter, the harsh winter, and then they will lock you. And we will get instructions say, outside for day for cold, let you know what he mean for cause trouble. And we for try, now move away from this rubbish, Leone, because it's rubbish. Small country. 8 million is less than 1/4 of the population of Lagos City, Nigeria. 8 million people will not able to sit down together, will not able to tolerate each other, will not able to say, okay, but this done wrong. How we go make it right? Instead of preaching nonsense, then some of una fumble and they go take chemicals from Europe, from China and other places. They go cook things them. Today I see a video. Young people who should be receiving training for make them develop them potentials for create goods and services, then they tow line for go buy kush. I see another video, young people, some as young as 12, 13. They don't go so bad that they get sores now, then food. Some of them picture they not even fine for look. How do some of you sleep at night? Oh, now tell me, say, me with they far away. I they see them picture, they will now they inside the country, they see them. Don't see that. Eh? We cannot. You and you can't stop it. No. Politicians created all the problems in Sierra Leone. You can't stop it if you're ready to stop it. If you're not ready for stop them, something will go help una. And by the grace of God, the will get for help una not to fat, not the effect. Not the cause. But will come with methods where una will feel. And I think una don't begin feel some of the methods then they. And it's the politics now in place for go because international partners they count money. Now the money don't they dry. The well don't they dry. Sometimes that make una go and drug selling now. Yeah. Now they find alternative for keep the money flowing. I make these drugs. If Sierra Leoneans know what is good for them, don't make it a partisan issue. Some of us know the history. And I go tell you now, without going too deep into it, that all the politicians in Sierra Leone, some way, somehow, are involved in this thing. If they're not involved directly, they're involved indirectly. Because the fact that they know who that they do them, they sit down and keep quiet, their involvement. In law, if you get knowledge of something way wrong, you not try for bring and come forward, let them find solution to them. you are culpable. In the case of treasons, then they say a misprision of treason. So those of you who know who are involved and who are keeping quiet, on all involved, yeah? On all involved. Knowledge is good, knowledge also is bad. When you know something where it cause trouble, you not try for find way for solve that problem, then you are involved in the crime. Even you own property, if you know say then they can't thief them, you not protect them, you allow let them thief them. If the law know, then they punish you for that. Yes, and they punish you for that. So now left for make this thing as if now one group. They are all involved in it because they all know who is doing what. But they don't have the tenacity for them say, "Lord, we stop this thing." Why? Because then they take and say, "Oh well, if we put more today, well we can have power, we save something and they'll go do, then go put more power. We oh say they plan before and for go do bad, we go na power. You they plan before and for go do wrong, we go na power. That's why you are complacent when things are going wrong. People need to wake up to these facts. The people need to begin to understand that politics is not about material provision. Because some of these guys will come, oh, I don't do this, I don't do that. And when you talk, then they ask you, what have you done for Sierra Leone? That's a very stupid question, especially when you ask somebody who puts the greater part of a youthful life trying to work to build the country. They don't gaslight you now for belief, say, now for make I go, oh boy, they don't come below. Nah, they don't do something for Sierra Leone. If I have to do something for Sierra Leone, it's not going to be physical. It's going to be spiritual. And this is exactly what I'm doing as I sit here. Telling you what you need to know so you will think properly, and mobilize your talent to become somebody. I don't give fishes. I teach people how to fish. And that's the greatest thing anybody can do. Go in place. Politicians in Sierra Leone, I get for change on our beliefs about who that on be. The term don't they reach. I get for change on our perceptions about our position as society. The term don't they reach. I get for change on our attitudes towards society. The term don't they reach. The greatest instrument of change, which is awareness. And while they talk about awareness, not whether fear awareness one I can talk about. Give the people and drugs and say, I would not aware. I tell. Not all that they talk about. The ability of the people to know that I have a determining power and that my choices are what make things happen. Now they would only reach so. And they would only reach so. It's gradual. In the late 80s, when Thomas Sankara take over Upper Volta, government in Upper Volta, He did so introducing a new level of awareness in the society. The first thing we begin do, he took the people back to their cultural base, which is what Sierra Leone needs to be looking at this material moment. How can we reconnect with our culture to understand who we are? That was what Thomas Sankara did for Upper Volta. And because he carried that cultural awareness and that dedication, that patriotism, that nationalism, the first thing he did was he changed the name of the country, because names are not mere identity. Names have a spiritual connection. He changed the name from Upper Volta, Haute Volta, to Burkina Faso. The two major languages in the country are they take them what send they from. Burkina Faso, land of the upright. That no mean say the people were honest and were trustworthy, but he introduced the spiritual platform to make the people begin think, believe, and act upright. And the forces of evil came in. They used the away take us in brother, in closest friend, Blaise Compaoré. We now be knowing hate from his tail, like how politicians them as alone don't know the hate from the tail. They only they see material things. They used him. Sankara was killed. But the fact is, what Sankara had litten, what if he don't put fire upon? Nobody know able to kill him. Awareness, the flow of spiritual frequency for change. Your gun, your money, your use of impunity cannot stop that. It will not stop that to grow. It's going to grow, and it's growing. This is the best time for you people to sit down and do introspection. They will not change the ways they do things. Because when that thing they grow, you cannot stop it all. Even though Compaoré wanted to stop it, he couldn't. He was in power for close to 2 decades. He couldn't. Finally, we get Ibrahim Traoré. We don't reach the peak. The normal curve for people that always sabi mathematics, you get what you call the normal curve. Something they start, it grow, it reach in climax, they begin countdown. Burkina Faso is moving towards the climax of awareness. That is why Ibrahim Traoré is not doing it alone. He's doing it with a team of people with the same awareness. He's doing it with a spiritual guidance that has been instituted in the society. The same is happening in Sierra Leone quietly. Una fumble the mix for they go buy chemical, nitazine, fentanyl, and all that thing, and they for can make drugs for kill picking them. Una the rich una watalo, yeah? Una with the pan politics for thief and lie and Congosa, mix up, box up the people them for una personal gains. Una the rich una watalo, yeah? The road don't start. The Chinese philosopher Confucius say the longest distance in the 1,000-mile journey is the first step. Sierra Leoneans have taken the first step. For now, you will see it as confusion. For now, you will see it as hopelessness. For now, you will see it as plenty talk. Be assured. Some of una we say una are Christians. I want to tell una one thing. Una go read the book of Revelation and understand them. That word apocalypse. We don't read the book of Revelation, find the Greek meaning of the word apocalypse. Sierra Leone is going through an apocalypse. Apocalypse, like a process of getting rid of the old so that a new will come in and replace the old. All this thing now they do so. Now the apocalyptic phase would happen. Other one for make a get a posterity we go inherit them. Get out of killing people unnecessarily. Other one forget an inheritance after he don't die. We go get picking, then say get picking, then say from picking and get picking. Get out of what you're doing to Sierra Leone. Because killing Sierra Leoneans is not only by guns, but all of you involved in the drug business. Una they destroy una generations yet unborn. Some of who great grandpa them be involved in this slave trade. And then they go catch people them for can sell to John Hawkins and other white man them. Today, then generation they suffer. I make some family certain things where they happen to them. If you feel for tell the hush. But no exercise too much sympathy. You don't know the sins of the fathers. For those of you involved in this drug trade, be assured you are destroying your generations yet unborn. Your inheritance is being destroyed. If una want, una believe, una want, una left. To the Sierra Leonean people, evil wants to erase Sierra Leone off the face of the earth. Evil, that's what they call Satan. That's an external thing. And they come out and say, come. Now we the mortal man. We Jesus Christ, we and Satan put together. When we use the free will for do good, we are using the Christ factor or the religious factor. When we use the free will for do a lucky thing, for well we come to mortal man, then we use the Satan factor. Satan the inside Sierra Leone. You, the people of Sierra Leone, are you going to sit down and allow Satan to get his way? If we not get for Sidom and allow Satan let get in way, not for take gun fet, not for cause the solve them. Let we help for build the awareness. You family, you buddy, you neighbor, una get time for Sidom. You wanna discuss this kush issue. Una get time for Sidom. Let una find out what thing for do. Let una stop and una communities. To control this epidemic, it will involve every Sierra Leonean. Just like today, where Ebola been come, everybody was involved. When COVID came, everybody was involved. Well, maybe people think that we are not. Everybody was involved. Because if they say put face mask, you put them, that means you're involved for secure, you come be mortal man. Ebola time, Then tell you say, no work as so, not touch person, not shake hand, you did it. It was not about you. It was about safeguarding society for stop the spread of the disease or the virus. So at this material moment, every Sierra Leonean should be involved. And the first step is we have to form small community groups. Now they discuss this thing. Now they raise the awareness to begin them. Say this thing now a scourge. We don't come, he go destroy una. And if he destroy una no able left una mark this world. Awareness. It's going to take some time, but we therefore be persistent. We therefore be consistent. We therefore always keep at the back of our mind, say, we did do them because we not want let we nation get erased from the face of the earth. Because I'll tell you this, with the speed with which this kush misuse and abuse they spread in Sierra Leone, going to burn kush houses, arresting people, not doing the end more. Now the awareness say we not for use them, not in the end. And that awareness, not to tell you they go sit down, you make press conference, all microphone, you talk, you shake your head like Kondo. Consistent work, day to day, hour by hour, for do them. Because you know, if you don't do it, you're at risk of losing your life. This is not the first step what the Sierra Leoneans therefore take. And that not get for cost we nothing. Talking to each other not cost nothing. Community by community. Nobody not get for pay transport from go Masongbala or go Tiun or Levuma. Now, that small area we dey, una form a group where una go dey sit down, una dey discuss. Una find out, do research about how then they make this thing, the effects we get. Una talk about that. Una discuss them. Una make people that are aware say, doing this is not to our best advantage. That's the first step we'll go begin take for contain them. Because you want to hold the cow with them, short-sighted as they are, then they look at the market. If there is no market, there is no illegal goods. Yes? If there is no market, there is no legal goods. Now the market day, now I make them they do them. Una way na the populace. If we not take a decision, say we are moving away from this, we will not get ourselves involved with this, then we don't cut off the market. And once the market's not there, the seller not they sell. So do this for yourselves, Sierra Leoneans. Una pick up this awareness. Una pick up this initiative. The few we don't involve, let we begin look at how to get out of the drug. And for me to get out of the drug, it's a collective effort. Government not able to solve it. One thing I will get forget at the back of una mind. The government of Sierra Leone officially is as poor as a church rat. And not get money. So now for the government not get money for do nothing. The money they wouldn't get, now black money, blood money, where then they play with because they're not involved in bad trades. Is that the money you want to be spent in Sierra Leone, on our and the scene and the country? We the people, If we are ready, we can do a research. We find out the number of people, because that's another thing. They don't know how many people are involved. Whatever figure they give now, a lie. The first step towards containing this push, get the awareness, know how many people have been addicted, know where they are located, then let us have a nationally coordinated private citizens movement. The politician then pull the hand pan this, do a beguna. Yeah, this not a launching party. Because I own for launch. This should be a private citizens movement. That we come together and agree what you go do, how go do it. Now get people them trained in Sierra Leone for handle them things here. Now coordinate them properly. Now help poor brother and sister them where they are addicted. They want them where before they reach with the help they die. May God give them rest. Because a lot of things get for go wrong before we get a solution. But where there is the will, there is the way. If we are ready, we can contain this thing. And what they try for contain them, you politician, where you family involved, if you not tell us, say, come up behind this. If we know, say this person involved, this you don't the cause and fettle. We'll find ways for them to be arrested. Until now, they work like board. We know. So often they reach size alone, they turn on a prison. Because we go down, make all the arrangement done, the next year put you the can and they arrest you. Some of una salon get for turn prison for una. What Pikin say, in parents are not they sleep, inside not go sleep. Today, I not go waste time. I think I've said what I wanted to say. APC, SLPP, una go do research. Don't find out what in democracy mean. And let una try begin teach una self. Una for they get seminars. That's not the only country the political parties they know they get seminars. All town na dey pan press conference, they go live and the people there. Tin the own and no know now na can go talk. Una for they get seminars. In civilized countries, political parties they get seminars. Then get youth wing, then get women's wing. They train these people. They call them to seminars to discuss. In Norway, na seminar the pikin them in go na you toy, where that Christmas and that's bribery go kill 80 of them. The Labour Party, the youth wing, na seminar, then can get seminar the holidays. When they go, then discuss national issue, then discuss cultural issue, then discuss about what's in they want Norway for being the next 20, 30 years. They think ahead. They plan ahead. We know all things are by God in power. God not to babysitter, huh? He don't tire with we. Don't begin think. He don't give everything. They give it free will. Why are we not using it? Because we want free lunch. We will not get free lunch. We go Congo, sir. We go bang boats. We do all kind of things. If we not change now in Sierra Leone, a lot of things they happen, we go erase Sierra Leone from the face of the earth. The country go left exist too, but the people will gradually be erased from the face of the earth. If there is anyone who wants to make a call, please do so in the next 5 minutes or else I'll end my program here today. Legend, thank you, sir. Thank you for calling me a wise man. I'm not a wise man, sir. I'm an apprentice. The wise people and they learn from them. We an apprentice where they cannot use their knowledge then they. By some says, political parties work on systems and for the interests of the country and the people. Spot on. Spot on. This is what they should be doing. But we've never seen that happen in Sierra Leone. By some again says Apc-Slpp political parties are oppressors in suppressing their own people for their own personal greed. Spot on, sir. Spot on. Spot on. Now British autocratic mentality. Now they don't transfer. So what you get in Sierra Leone, now neo-colonialism, not to Sierra Leoneans ruling Sierra Leone, now neo-colonialism. Everything as the British did it is what we are still doing. Everything. No change after 60 almost year. Silred, thank you for coming. Welcome, ma. I didn't know how they cost me the mia. How they tell them true. Not to cost her, they cost her. If we don't have any call for food, you're always the first man, and you're always telling the public to like and share. For those of you who are new, if you not like for the listen to this nonsense while they talking, if it make sense to una subscribe with the bell on the platform. Because when you do that, anytime we come on, they come on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. Possibly in due course, we will increase the number of times, but that has to be properly considered and planned. You know, I'll not stretch myself too much. When you subscribe with the bell, anytime we are come on, you will get notifications in this platform there. So, if you not appreciate what they do now, what they say now, una subscribe, una like the video, una share them so that other people who hear the nonsense while they talk, let themselves make sense out of them. If we not get any call today, I want for gracefully ask that I take leave and I hope for see you back on Friday. Thank you very much for coming to listen to me. We try to make Sierra Leone a better place. We can. We can. It's just that we need to build a collective mentality. We look at Sierra Leone and say, okay, whatever we are doing for all of us. Whatever we are saying for all of us. If whatever we are saying for all of us, then we go stop for cause and effect each other. We don't get no business for cause and effect. We get all the business for discuss what's not right and say, okay, love do so, make a right. And I thank you for listening. We will meet on Friday.
We sweet salo, we not for make this country for Mama Salo. We let we salo, this we land we love.
A critical awakening in Sierra Leone. The unintended lessons of Julius Maada Bio's presidency. When Julius Maada Bio became president in 2018, he promised a new direction, focused on education, justice, unity, and inclusive development. His eloquent speeches inspired hope in a nation hungry for change. However, as his presidency has unfolded, a different story has emerged, marked not by fulfilled promises, but by deepening economic hardship, growing insecurity, and widespread public disillusionment. One of the most alarming developments under Bio's leadership is the rise of Sierra Leone as a hub for drug trafficking, particularly the spread of Kush, a dangerous synthetic drug. This substance is destroying lives, especially among the youth, and has overwhelmed families and communities. Allegations of official complicity and ineffective law enforcement have led many to describe Sierra Leone as evolving into a narco state, where criminal networks thrive alongside weakened state institutions. Economically, Sierra Leone is trapped in stagflation, a combination of high inflation and low economic growth. Prices for essentials such as food, fuel, and transportation have soared, while wages remain stagnant and youth unemployment continues to climb. The government's reliance on donor funding and external loans has not translated into local economic empowerment or job creation. Many citizens are now forced to make painful choices just to survive, eroding trust in state leadership and exposing the limits of government policies. Public services have also deteriorated. The much-publicized free quality education program suffers from overcrowded classrooms, unpaid teachers, and inadequate resources. The gap between the government's promises and the lived reality of the population has grown ever wider. Despite this grim outlook, a new form of awareness is emerging. Across the country, especially among the youth and professionals, there is a growing sense of political consciousness and civic engagement. Citizens are becoming more vocal, organizing protests and demanding accountability from leaders. The protests in 2022, though marred by violence, reflected a collective demand for dignity, justice, and meaningful governance. In this context, President Bio's greatest legacy may be the unintended political awakening of the people. His administration's failures have taught Sierra Leoneans to think critically about leadership and governance. They are learning that true development must be people-driven and grounded in action, not rhetoric. This rising consciousness may yet become the foundation for a more accountable and citizen-led future for Sierra Leone.
Happens when truth becomes a tool, not a right. In Sierra Leone, confusion isn't just chaos, it's strategy. When leaders deny what you live, gaslight your reality, and rewrite the past, who really holds the power? Tonight on Truth Unmasked, we expose the tactics, we name the games, we decode the lies. Don't just believe what they tell you. Ask why they want you to believe it.